Namaste and welcome. We are back again in our podcast series, which is called Science Behind the Science with Dr. Monica Prabhakar. And we did mention to you last time that we will start our discussion on astronomy. And I think that is a much awaited topic because it will very naturally gravitate into, with the passage of some episodes, astrology. So without further ado, let's jump straight in and welcome Dr. Monica Prabhakar back into the space with us. Welcome back, Monica.
Namaste to everybody. Thank you, Nidhi, inviting me here again to discuss another interesting topic, that is astronomy. So, astronomy basically has its roots in astrology. Astrology is study of light, astro, study of light. And this topic is not new to India. It was known to all Indians in terms of Jyotish Shastra since the Vedic times. So all our mathematics, all our study about the sky, the time study, this has all come up from Jyotish Shastra. So it is a huge topic, and I am glad that we've got this platform from where we can tell our young generation about how scientific this Jyotish Shastra is. In the earlier times, we would say that we are going to a Pandit. So it is, isme kya rakha hai? They know, how do they know? How can they predict? This is all pseudoscience.
Right.
Pseudoscience is the word that we have been using for Jyotish Shastra. But I will call that I am Pratyaksh Praman in front of you, coming from a complete science background and then moving into astrology. And I have realized this, that Jyotish Shastra is the science.
In fact, Monica, just like you are saying you are Pratyaksh Praman of this, I do understand that a lot of our IITians, well established engineers in their own field, have actually moved away from hardcore engineering and come into the study of astronomy and as a result moving towards astrology because they realize that there is a very big science at play out there which somewhere is getting obscured or missed out upon just because people have been calling it a pseudoscience. And most of these people have also graduated from calling it or not calling it pseudoscience as much, but not believing in it to now believing in it. I would say you are also part of the same.
I'm exactly a part of it because basically, a person with a scientific temperament, what happens is that if we touch upon this field of astrology, if we enter, we get interested in this topic. Finally, we reach it to a point we are absolutely 100% convinced because we can see proofs around us. We can see proofs from our own lives. So we are totally convinced. I am actually totally convinced that astrology and astronomy was known to all the scientists, which we call rishis, which we can actually call scientists. It was known to them. And this is the exact science. And finally, the drift is actually from science to astrology to astronomy. And finally, a person who dwells deep into this world, finally, he becomes, means he leaves everything and he's a completely spiritual person because journey leads you to there, that end. Completely spiritual, seeking answers about God, the ultimate reality. So the journey goes like this for a scientific mind.
So, what is it that you would want us to start with? Because most of our viewers here may not be very open to the idea. I also have come across a lot of people who are not open to the idea at all. And pseudoscience, like you use the word, is something that I've often heard people calling the, anybody who goes into this line of becoming suddenly superstitious person or practicing pseudoscience and probably misleading the world. That's what they're saying. So, what do you have to say about that?
See, Nidhi, what if you talk to our young generation today? Jyotish Shastra will be called pseudoscience.
Yeah,
They say
it
that
is.
what proof do you have in this?
Mm.
Now, it is such a difficult science, and I will tell you the amount of mathematics that is involved in it. Nobody can defy that it is science. It is a combination of mathematics, physics, and chemistry together. And if you study deep, nobody can deny that it is science. But then you start calling all kind of this knowledge pseudoscience because you need to give them proofs. Okay, so it is so difficult that 100% interpretation of what is going to happen in future is impossible. Absolutely, the best of astrologers from the past have said this, that only that this is beyond human intelligence. 100% prediction is beyond human intelligence. Therefore, to predict one particular event in life, there are about more than 100 permutations, combinations. How can human mind do that? So basically, it is a science, very, very difficult science. But if you go into this world, you will come to basically, you will start believing that this knowledge of astronomy and astrology was known to India since ever. And then you will start believing that all science has come from this. This has been my journey, actually.
I agree. Yes.
Astronomy has its roots in astrology, Jyotish Shastra. Okay. And Jyotish Shastra is what? Jyoti Shastra, study of Jyoti, study of light. If I want to define what astrology is or what Jyotish Shastra is, that is that how we are at different parts of our life, times, different times of our life, we are under the effect of different type of energy.
Right.
So basically, it is a confluence of energy and matter.
Right.
Now, before I actually go into the details of astrology or astronomy, so what our youngsters are calling Jyotish Shastra? Pseudoscience.
Yeah.
What are they saying? What is pseudoscience? Pseudoscience, they are saying that something that doesn't have any proof. So, but I would like here to first clarify certain things. The first thing that I want to clarify here is the roots of quantum physics, quantum chemistry, quantum theory as a whole. What is quantum theory? Okay. So quantum theory has its roots in the dual nature of matter. So I'm speaking this because basically I'm saying that astrology is also energy and matter together. How energy is affecting matter and matter and energy. So we have to talk about these two concepts first. And before, so that I have to talk about the dual nature of matter. Now, dual nature of matter was a concept that was given first by D. Broglie. D. Broglie's concept of dual nature of matter. How did they come to this point? Because finally, from the time period of Newtonian physics, when we were discussing everything in terms of matter, and when our study reached to the subatomic particle, that is the electron and the proton. At that time, these particles are so small that they cannot be seen. So we can't study them in the form of matter. So how do we study them then? Then it was that since we cannot study them in the form of matter, we have to study them in terms of the energy they have. The wave associated with that electron or the wave associated with any subatomic particle needs to be studied in order to know the nature, the placement of that electron. So to understand matter, we are trying to understand the energy behind it. So in case of a subatomic particle, energy factor becomes more important because we cannot see matter. And if we reverse the situation, if we have a big piece of matter, for example, we have a rock in front of us. Now, rock is there. We can see matter in front of us. We'll study it in terms of matter. The energy becomes, we need not take up the energy part.
Correct.
Okay, because both energy and matter means the same thing. That means in order to study matter, we need to study energy. In order to know the energy, we need to study matter. Energy and matter go hand in hand. They are one and the same thing. This is what is known as dual nature of matter. Okay, that means to understand the non-dual, to understand matter, we have to understand the dual nature of it. Now, this concept, what is this concept known as in our Vedic literature? This is the core, I think, concept of Vedic science, that is Dvait and Advait.
Advait.
I think nobody is unfamiliar with these two words, Dvait and Advait. Even if you are not from a science background also, then also a person is familiar with Dvait and Advait. Vedantic sciences is all about Advait nature of that is one supreme Lord, one supreme that we call Brahman, Par-Brahma, Shiv. So the supreme one is Advait. That is, there is one single energy. That single energy cannot be manifested without the help of matter. That is Prakriti. So it is a confluence of energy, Brahma or Shiv, with matter, that is Prakriti or Shakti. That is a confluence of Shiv and Shakti that creates this whole world. You cannot understand energy, the Shiv aspect alone, if you do not go into the understanding of Prakriti.
Manifestation part of it.
Matter. And matter cannot exist without energy. Energy cannot be known without matter, and matter cannot exist without energy. This concept is the Dvait and the Advait concept of our Vedic sciences. And this, for your since our young minds, they need proofs for everything. So all this is mentioned. I would also like to quote the text where all this has been mentioned. So this concept is very deeply mentioned in detail in the Vak Sukt, Nasdiya Sukt, Purush Sukt, and these are the different the collection of mantras from Rig Veda. So I will just repeat: Vak Sukt, Nasdiya Sukt, Purush Sukt.
Of the Rig
They
Veda.
completely deal with the dual and non-dual nature of this universe. They deal with the Shiv Shakti concept. So this is the roots of the dual nature of matter that modern science is teaching us. Okay. And this is what led to quantum physics or quantum theory. Now, what is quantum theory? Quantum basically is the quantum when we are discussing about photon. Photon is a packet of energy. Okay. And the amount of energy associated with one photon is quantum. So here, quantum theory is all about study of light and matter together. Okay, yeah. So here you can completely understand that our Vedic literature has already talking about this.
What you're saying is that our Vedic literature has always taught it from where it started. And it enables us to understand because we know from where it all begins and how we have finally arrived. So it is very easy for a student of Vedant to understand that everybody has matter and energy both together. However, when we're speaking of modern science, it's a backward approach. It looks at matter and then it has started to go backwards. Or why? Because when they came down to the photon level, to the next level of atom, they did not know how to further understand it, and then they had to go in the direction of light or energy. So it's like from matter backwards. However, our understanding is already from there towards.
Yes, Nidhi, here I would like to point out one more thing is that in no ways here we are here to demean what the Western scientists have done. Their journey has been wonderful. They have made a lot of effort into making this world what it is today. Okay, full credit to them. And it is again here one more thing is that if we are talking about our Vedic sciences, we are not saying that you leave modern science and you just start reading the Vedas. We have to have a parallel approach. The thing is that the Western scientists, if they are talking about the quantum theory, if they are talking about the theory of relativity, the basic idea about all these theories, the core idea is from Vedas. And then they have developed this idea, done many experiments, and given their own theories. But again, I would emphasize that the basic idea, the background is Vedic sciences. And here I would like to, even I would like to tell you some scientists who have quoted that they have given actually credit to the Vedic sciences about their own theories. So Heisenberg's principle, Heisenberg is one person who was the pioneer of quantum theory. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. The people from the scientific background would know that. Here, I would like to tell you that all these scientists who have contributed to the quantum theory, all of them also have given credit to the Ayurvedic sciences.
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
would like to tell you that Schrödinger, who has given all the famous Schrödinger equation regarding the electron, the position of the electron, he has said that in his book My View of the World in 1961, he has said that he's talked about this concept of tattvamasi. I am the entire world, he's saying, and he has given credit to the to his study of Vedantic sciences. And then he was very close to Heisenberg also. And Heisenberg has said that quantum physics will not look ridiculous to people who have read Vedanta. Then Oppenheimer. Access to the Vedas is the greatest privilege this century may claim over all previous centuries. Oppenheimer. Neil Bohr, who was studying the atom as a unit. I go to the Upanishads to find all my answers. So see, these people also got, it is not that entirely they were getting everything from the our Vedas as such. The thing is that they got ideas from there about the cosmos. So this is for all our dear students who do not believe in Vedantic sciences and who are calling it just pseudoscience. For them, our approach is not to condemn anybody. It is not to demean the Western science. It is only an effort to make our Vedantic science move parallel. Get ideas from the Vedas and go on your own journey of exploration and experimentation. This is what they have been doing. And this journey will make us discover many, many new things. We will be innovators. This is the right approach. So, as such, a scientific temperament is when you have a holistic approach to the whole knowledge. It is not wise that you say that this is absolutely nonsense and the other part is right. Be with an open mind. Think about everything. Research on everything. Instead of just saying that it is just pseudoscience and it should not be taught and science is in danger. Instead of having this approach, please have a holistic approach to the whole knowledge system.
And there are a lot of people who are doing some really good work in this space. My own understanding has been from where what you're pointing out, Monica. There was a time in my life also when I used to shun just about everything. But that is when I began to realize that it's a very closed-minded approach which shuts off your own personal growth and development. Because when we say no to something like this, or no to a possibility, then we are actually shutting our own brain from moving in that direction and just keeping it as a very myopic view. Because science is ever evolving. Science is not a subject that has finished its evolution. It's an ongoing process.
Yes, one more point I want to make out here is that the people who are saying that real science is the science that is backed with experiments and proofs. Okay, and then they start showing us research papers that we have so many proofs, and there is this research paper, this research paper showing this kind of a theory. Okay, now our Vedantic theories, the rishis. So it is our journey was like the Maharishis. They were the earliest known rishis who were called mantra drashtas. They were supposed to be Manas Putras of Brahma. So the knowledge they had, by default, they had the knowledge in their system. Okay, and this knowledge was carried forward by their shishyas. Okay, and through the Guru Shishya Parampara, the knowledge went down. What finally we have is further texts other than the Vedantic text. We have smritis. So these smritis, what are these smritis? These smritis are basically lifetime research projects of these rishis. They have spent the whole, it is not a 2 or 3 year PhD program. It is a lifetime PhD, the whole life. And then after having, see, like I would, since I'm an astrologer myself, I would like to tell you about, we have in the field of astrology, we have Bhrigu Rishi, we have Rishi Prashar, we have Gemini Rishis. So these Rishis have their own theories about predictions, their own rules. Or obviously they are related to each other, but they have their own rules. Why do they have their, how have they come up with their own rules? Because they have spent lifetime researching on so many subjects around them, and then they have come to a final theory that this happens like this, and then they have put in their own. So Prashar Hora we have, then we have a book written by Gemini. These are their research projects that they have carried out. So how will you not call that science? You are calling today's 2 or 3 year, 4 year PhD program backed with 4 or 5 research papers. You want to call it science, but Smritis written by our rishis, and after researching for a whole lifetime, you are doubtful about their research and you're not calling it science. Just think about this. This is for our modern, our youth who dumps all this knowledge in the name of pseudoscience. And again, who are saying that science is in danger.
I think here how you have brought this entire encapsulation about the fact that their entire lifetime's work is what we have as their treatises and their sutras, which help us understand that subject so much in detail compared to the PhDs of now. It's just not an apple to apple comparison also at all. And I think if I were to recall in our earlier discussions, you've mentioned the Suryatit Siddhant a lot, and you also mentioned that there is a great amount of detail and calculation details which are sitting inside the Surya Siddhant. So this, I would feel that this would actually bring us into the point of relevant factual data. So what is the Surya Siddhant?
Nidhi, rightly, you have pointed out the right topic here, that is Surya Siddhant. We should talk about Surya Siddhant right now because since we are talking about how authentic our own texts were
Yes.
and how they should be called scientific. Surya Siddhant will actually tell you how all the knowledge, the thing that we were talking about, get ideas from our text. So Surya Siddhant will give you not only ideas, basically it is also giving you figures. So if I talk about the origin of Surya Siddhant, basically nobody exactly knows its origin. It is said, it is believed that the messenger of God, Sun himself, gave this knowledge about the cosmos, to Mayasur. Mayasur was, after performing great tapas, Mayasur became capable of receiving this knowledge. So we can again say that since it was given directly from Lord Sun himself to Mayasur, again this knowledge we can say is aparishya, not created by man. So that is the basic origin. And otherwise, the raw prints that we can have, they are dated back to about 1500 BC. And the facts that we know about Surya Siddhant is that in the 6th century AD, Varamihira revised the Surya Siddhant. Then in the 12th century, it was Bhaskacharya who again revised the text in the name of Siddhant Shiromani. So from the raw text that we have a revised text coming up by Varamihira in the 6th century. 12th century, we have Siddhant Shiromani. Everybody is aware of what was happening in India after the 12th century up till the 19th century. So it was around 1860 when the Britishers were well established in our country, and when all this Vedic knowledge was revealed to them. So Surya Siddhant was also one of them, one of those great texts which the Britishers came to know about. And it was Reverend Ebenezer Burgess. In 1860, he published this Surya Siddhant in English. Again, the Indians were unaware of it. And until 1935, we did not have any access to this great text. The original Surya Siddhant was not available in India, nor was any translation available in India. In 1935, if it was Bimal Prasad Dutt from the Calcutta University who got it republished. Means the translated text was republished in India, Calcutta University. This is all that we know about Surya Siddhant. We Indians know about Surya Siddhant. We just know the translation now. So you can just imagine where is that original text and who is using that text and how the Western countries are knowing so much about space and we are unaware. We were unaware for so many years. So in order to make my point about why Surya Siddhant is so important and why we should be knowing about it, is that I will give you some straight facts from Surya Siddhant. In order to bring in front of our viewers the importance of Surya Siddhant, I would like to quote some figures directly from it. How authentic Surya Siddhant is. So if we talk about Surya Siddhant talks about the days taken by different planets to revolve around the Earth. Now here you might be a little confused that our Vedic concept, our Vedic text, they consider they go by the geostationary concept of the universe. That is, that we take Earth to be stationary and even the sun and the planets revolving around the Earth. And this is just relative motion.
And
We
this
are
is
fully aware of the fact that the sun is stationary and the earth is revolving. But we are, for our own clarity, and since we are viewing everything from the earth, we go by the geostationary concept. The Surya Siddhant is based on the geostationary concept.
for the purpose of calculations only.
For the purpose of calculation. And since we are viewing the cosmos from the earth, that is why. So in that context, we have that the Surya Siddhant is giving you how the days taken by different planets to revolve around the Earth. This is just for reference to just make things sound more authentic. Surya Siddhant, the authenticity of Surya Siddhant. So it says that Sun is taking 365.26 days. This is what Surya Siddhant is saying. And what modern science, or you can say, I think the figures come directly from NASA. So they are saying that 365.26, exact same figure. Now this 365.26 is there in Surya Siddhant. Days. Moon, 27.322 days. Modern science is saying 27.3216. Hardly any difference. Mercury, 87.97 days is what Surya Siddhant is saying. And modern science is saying 87.96 days. Hardly any difference. Venus is taking 224.7 days. Modern science is again saying same, 224.7 days. Surya Siddhant is saying that Mars is taking 687 days, similar to what modern science is saying. Jupiter is taking 4,332.3 days. Modern science is saying 4,332.58 days. Saturn, 10,765.7 days, quoted by Surya Siddhant. And modern figures are saying 10,759.2. So how will you say that Surya Siddhant is not authentic? The idea is that it is giving you theory. It is already saying that these are the planets around us, and they are taking these many days to revolve around the Earth. Relative motion. So if you believe in Vedic sciences, you get the theory from there, and you have your whole lifetime to experiment on it, research on it. This is what the Western sciences are doing, and they are coming. See, you can call it pseudoscience if you prove us wrong. If you prove Surya Siddhant wrong, then it will be pseudoscience. Then you say that science is in danger.
And valid proofs, no?
Yes.
Not hypothetical proofs.
Yes. Just prove that these figures are wrong, and then say that that science is in danger. Please do not let us go back to the Vedic times. So this is my point that I want to put in front. Some other figures that I would like to quote here is the distance they have. Surya Siddhant exactly gives us the distance of different planets from Earth in astronomical units. So I would just like to mention a few. For example, we have they have quoted for Saturn. They are saying it is 9.11 astronomical units. Modern science is saying 9.55. How much difference? So idea from Surya Siddhant and prove it. Our viewers who have a critical mind, pick up Surya Siddhant, download it. It is there on the net, and see, take out the figures for yourself. And then think whether it is pseudoscience or real science. So this is Surya Siddhant, and this book is one that, now Surya Siddhant, as we have talked earlier also, it has been the basis of work for Aryabhat. His Aryabhatya and all other books are based on Surya Siddhant, and all the rest of the mathematicians. The basic book for reference has been Surya Siddhant.
Am I correct in also understanding that the Surya Siddhant also helps us divide the day into the number of hours, and the word hour has come from the Surya Siddhant?
Nidhi, that is a huge topic, concept of time. And I think that will require 2 or 3 classes, the whole of the concept of time. Basically, everything has been given in Surya Siddhant. We can talk about it. And I would like to talk about here that the theory of relativity. We can just, like, since we are just comparing modern science and Vedic science, the theory of relativity. See, Interstellar being released again. And what are they talking about? They're just talking about time travel. So they are saying how one day in space is so many days on Earth. This is what they're talking about, and they're talking about time, the fourth dimension, that is time. And they are trying to relate it with gravity. All these ideas, if you study Ayurvedic text deeply, all these ideas have been given there. Everybody knows about the story that is related to Revati and Balram. So I would not go into those stories, but the concept of time, our largest unit of time is one kalpa. And one kalpa is 1 day of Brahma. 1 day of Brahma is millions of years on Earth. So that is time travel. That is about the relative, that is actually what relative time means. So the idea, I'm not saying that you get everything here, just get the idea from our text, and we can do a lot of research there. And we're going to talk about this concept of time, maybe in our next podcast.
So this concept of time, it's huge. I mean, I do remember reading when you're talking about a kalpa, it also comes down to what is a fraction of the smallest unit of time also. So I think this is something which we need to definitely speak about before we go into the astronomical journeys. So in the next podcast, I think what we will be talking about is the sense or essence of time. And from there, we will begin to understand this further. Thank you for bringing us to this way of understanding things, Monica. It's been truly from mathematics. It's definitely mathematical. You're right in saying that everything is to be mathematically understood, and it was important for us to touch upon Ganit Shastri before coming into this sense of realization. And also, I believe the study of Sanskrit, as we had done earlier, because Reverend Burgess, who translated the Surya Siddhant, would have definitely understood and studied Sanskrit before that.
And just imagine that if our own Indian minds, people who already know Sanskrit so well, if they would have translated, it would have been much better.
Because every translation brings in a certain element of dilution of the concept as well. So translation to translation will create a deflection from the core point as well at a point in time. So thank you, Monica. Thank you for bringing and touching upon the time element, and we will definitely come back with this discussion on time before venturing astronomically ahead, like I said. And on that note, Thank you very much. Stay curious, stay open, and stay in that space of the researching mind. Do share this with others since I have a feeling that you've already started finding this interesting. Thank you very much for being here with us, and thank you, Monica.
Thank you, Nidhi. And I hope this people who are calling our science pseudoscience will definitely watch this.
See you again next time. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you.